I'm sure most of you have been watching the Kenyan parliament and they keep on wondering, is this parliament or is it just kids? You've been watching, I know, seeing the kind of presentation that is occurring there. And one of the things that has been touching most of the Kenyans, it's that whenever Kenyans raise an issue and a contrary opinion against any bill that is tabled in parliament, you realize that MPs ignore the common mwananchi and go ahead to vote yes in support of that bill. We have the bill to do with Finance Bill 2024, 2023 as well. We have the things to do with impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua and many other bills where the common mwananchi were against the decision of the president or against the decision of the cabinet or even the parliament themselves. So, but regardless of the opinions that we have been giving in public participation, you realize that when they go to parliament, they vote against the common mwananchi. So I know very well the question that is going around in all our minds is that why is it that these people are doing all this? Why is it that MPs that we elected as the bosses, they don't listen to us? If you look at the Finance Bill 2024, Kenyans said all over that we don't want Finance Bill 2024. But the president instructed his MPs to go and vote yes, regardless of the situation. It culminated to demonstrations and occupation of parliament. And despite of all those MPs voted yes while running from parliament. So eventually even it passed and it was waiting for presidential assent. That's basically how our MPs behave when it comes to the opinion of the common mwananchi. Some of them don't care completely whether we die or not. So long as they have impressed William Ruto, it's done. Now today here on this channel, on this video, I just want to take you through some reasons I feel strongly that are the causes of the behavior of our MPs, where they don't listen to what the common mwananchi is saying, but instead they listen to to William Ruto, the president of Kenya, and themselves, their stomachs only. But before I do so, if this is the first time you guys are watching my videos, please make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support I can always give this channel. May God bless all of you for those who've been following, commenting, liking. That's the best support I can always give this channel. Some of you are asking about my number. It's on my bio. You can always reach out, talk to me, and we can be able to share on how to analyze better and take this channel far. That's how I will learn. Let me dive into the topic today. So our MPs behave contrary to the expectations of the common mwananchi. When mwananchi want this, they don't do it. I want to give you a simple example here. Recently, there was an impeachment motion of Rigathi Gachagua, and after he was impeached in parliament, we saw Sylvanus Osoro and many other MPs around him, but he was the leader, of course, dancing in parliament for the fall of Gachagua, very happily expressing his happiness that Rigathi Gachagua has finally been impeached. It was not war, because they were still having, who was fighting against these people? They were celebrating the victory. Who was fighting against them? The MPs were all in their side. They had the numbers. But Osoro went ahead, could not sit down in his seat, but he had to stand up to the chambers and dance together with other MPs, celebrating that Rigathi Gachagua has done what? Has gone home. Then I asked myself, when last did we see these people dance in favor of passing a bill that supports the well-being of the common mwananchi? No day. No day. No day we've seen an MP dance that you have passed a bill to lower the cost of living. You have passed a bill to lower the cost of fuel. You have passed a bill to lower the cost of unga. You have passed a bill to lower the cost of any commodity that you have in this country. But instead, they have been dancing in parliament for things that don't matter to the common mwananchi. And that is why I'm making this video here today, to show you the reasons as to why I feel strongly these people are behaving the way they are doing. Some of you feel like these people are like kids. Reason number one. First of all, it's that these leaders, most of them, have engaged in so many corruption cases, which have made them simply captives of the state. What do I mean? These people have been given huge amounts of money. That's 130 million plus. They spend the money the way they want. There's no single MP right now in the country who has been visited by ESCC, arraigned in court for misusing the NCGDF. No. But instead, they have misused the money. That's why you see them living a flamboyant lifestyle, including the young and old MPs in parliament. That's why you see them building houses, flats, right, left, and center, while the people of their regions are not getting enough services. Let me give you an example here. An MP goes to a school, simply decides now, if this is a school, I'm going to bring the contractor. So the principal, the school management should just show the principal, the MP, the place they are going to build, if it's a classroom or a building of any kind, maybe a lab or even a story building like classrooms. After being shown, the contractor comes on site. This contractor is from the MP himself, maybe a friend or some close associate. So what happens in that case? The price, if the building was costing 10 million, the price is exaggerated to 15 billion shillings. So 5 million is already lost. Ask yourself, how much money could have been used? How many people could it have paid for school fees? How many kids could it have sponsored until university? The 5 million that is stolen. So simply, to just give an example, that is how these people behave. The government knows this, people know how it happens, and it is well known. So these MPs, to hide some of these things from coming to the public, they dance to the tune of the president. Because if they know very well that if they go against the president, ESCC is someone that told them to go and investigate them, probably most of these MPs could be in jail. That's why we've not had any single MP right now as we speak in the country being investigated by ESCC or right now has been arrested in any way in engagement of embezzlement of funds. These MPs are never brought to parliament by anybody for questioning, like we'd see with them with the governors. Yet they're also given money. Who are they accountable to? That's how simply these people dance to the tune of government. Because if they go against, jail. Another thing, it is the age of the MPs that we have in parliament. Most of the MPs are new and young. They have not gone through the political process that will give them the maturity to know that this kind of a decision must be people-based. So in short, they just get there, do whatever they want. First of all, to meet their greed of being rich just like many others, and also to satisfy their bosses for some favors in government. Maybe tenders, or maybe again the same thing, the issue to do with investigations over the misuse of funds like NCGDF. That's how our members of parliament behave. Now, another thing I feel strongly is because during the campaigns, most of these MPs were funded by William Ruto. They moved across the country, the campaign splashed a lot of money, and eventually got elected because of that wave that was in the country. So after they had gotten elected, you are funded, you are given a nomination, a direct ticket. How can you oppose someone who did to you that? So generally, they are trapped themselves before in the campaigns. So when they come to power, it is difficult for them to do some of these things like supporting the interests of the common manage. If we sit down right now as a country and ask yourself, which this one bill the MPs have passed, discussed without coming from State House? Not even one. It is even reflected in the Senate. The same case. Bills that are tabled there, they are all in favor of taxation, high taxation, but not lowering taxes. Or extending term limits, like now Cherargei is doing it. So, in a nutshell, our MPs are already trapped in a place they cannot easily get out. The corruption cases they have been engaged in, they cannot allow them to oppose the president. But you don't blame anybody. We blame them for behaving in such a manner. I don't know how your MP is doing, but there are some who are better. I can say where my MP I come from in terms of opposing the government. Probably it's because he has been in opposition. I don't know how he voted against Rigathi Gachagua, but the fact remains that most of these MPs steal public funds. And that's why we want accountability from the NCGDF that has been spent by the MPs. And actually, that is why most of the Kenyans were saying that let us remove the CDF and channel that amount of money to Ministry of Education so that we can have the cost of education for all students in the country going down. Even if it's free education, it's given free education. Because that huge amount of money that's wasted by members of parliament could have been used to change a school, a student somewhere. That's my video there and there. I don't know what is your take. If there's another reason you have in mind, please let me see it in the comment section. My name is Abel Mukwa. Thank you for those who've been supporting. That is the best support you can always give this channel. Please make sure to subscribe.